Yes, Lindie's chatting to, well, she chatted to Ulen, Afrika, social worker from Strand, and this is how it went.
So good morning, listeners. I'm super excited about the opportunity today. I'm speaking to Ulen. Ulen, you are involved with the Heartlands Baby Sanctuary right here in Somerset West. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Lindie, and thank you for extending the invitation to myself and Heartlands.
Of course, I was again reminded about the Heartlands Baby Sanctuary when I met Nikki at a breakfast event, and I got thinking, oh my gosh, you guys do amazing work. So
Yes.
for listeners out there that doesn't know what Heartlands Baby Sanctuary is about, do you want to just give us some idea of what it is that you guys do? What is it about?
Yes. So Heartlands Baby Sanctuary is a temporary residential safe care facility. And we provide a temporary place of safety for abandoned, neglected, abused children between the ages of 0 months to 6 years old. Those children come to us with a valid court order and they stay in our care for a minimum period of 3 months and maximum period of 6 months, and we provide them with a loving and safe home environment up until they are able to be reunified with their parents, placed in foster care, adopted, or placed in long-term facilities.
And, you know, I'm listening to you and you make it sound like, oh, a normal day. And I go, oh, my goodness, I'll disappear in pieces just to think about working with those kids.
Yeah.
But, Ulen, of course, we're going to talk a lot about what you guys actually do and how it works. But how did you get started in all of this?
Yes. Lindie, I think the idea of becoming a social worker started when I was between the ages of 15, 16 years old. I've always been an empath and someone that was interested in the well-being and welfare of others. And I then started my studies at the University of Stellenbosch in the year 2016. Completed in 2019 and then got the job at Heartlands Baby Sanctuary
so
in
it was
lockdown.
your first job?
My first job.
Oh, my goodness. And then in lockdown.
In lockdown. So I
Okay.
started in April 2020 and what a journey it has been.
Yeah, so now almost 4 years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So first job there. What did you expect to find at Heartlands and what did you expect? Was there a difference?
I don't think there was much of a difference. I think my the program at the university prepared us very well for social work itself. But what people normally don't know about social work is that you can specialize in different fields.
Okay.
So I didn't know that it was more residential care for children. And I thought that I was going to be the one that's going to remove the child.
Okay.
Whereas with Heartlands, the children come to the facility and you need to provide the care and therapeutic services.
Okay. So how big is the team, Ulen?
Yes, sure. We have roughly about 40 staff members. Not sure how many permanent staff members, but we are a big team. And we work on 3 pillars, which is your developmental program, your healthcare program, and your psychosocial program.
Okay, so all of these programs means that you do things for kids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the residential program for the children specifically. Okay. But what I did not add is the sustainability projects that we also run. So as a NGO, we need to be self-sustainable, you know.
Okay.
So we do have our pre-love shop. We have our coffee shop and we have our Seeds of Hope food garden.
Okay.
So donations that the public donate to Heartlands and those that we specifically can't use for the children, we sell in our shop to generate an income.
Okay, so just again, so there's a coffee shop, so I can go there and I can have will I see children? I mean, what will I see when I get there?
Yes, so when you come specifically to the coffee shop, there you'll meet our friendly chef, Nicole, and she makes delicious meals. Should you want a tour through the facility, you can just pop in at reception and you can ask for Nikki, myself, or Renika, or Monica, the CEO. And we'll gladly take you on a tour. You won't be able to interact and engage with the children, but you'll see the facility.
Okay, I'll see the facility.
Yes.
So Ulen, I've got so many questions. Where do I even start? So, how have you grown over the last 4 years? I mean, first job.
Yes.
So how? What's been the impact in you personally? Because I think it's important for people or kids or youngsters out there that contemplating becoming a social worker. So, what is that dynamic?
Yes,
happening?
I think when I started, I just wanted to change the world. As a young person, you just have the idea of, I want to work with people and I want to change this world.
For the better.
Yeah,
of course.
But unfortunately, it's difficult. I think social work in itself it's a frustrating job, You deal with different people. You deal with parents who are on substances, children who are abused, neglected, abandoned, but then you experience the hope, and I told my colleague Nikki the same thing, that you see how a child comes into the facility broken, and after a few months of love, care, protection, just telling this child, I love you and I care for you, I'm here for you. And with our program, you see how that child blossoms.
Christy, when we come back, I'd like to ask Ulen a little bit about maybe, specific kids that stand out, some beautiful stories about how you've changed, how the facility has changed children's lives. So we'll be back just after this.
Yes, Business Lunch with Lindie back after this. Busy with Business Lunch with Lindie, and she's chatting to Ulen Afrika, social worker from Strand.
So, Ulen, I did mention that, is there any specific story that stands out in your mind? Something that you remember and smile and you think, oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Yes. We often have, just as an example of a story that I can recall, a child that was abandoned in the hospital. Mom left him there after birth. And after that, he was placed in our care and we provided him with our program and our services. And once we finalized his long-term plan, we found foster parents for him. And after the foster period of 2 years, he is now adopted. So he is with a family and he has a sense of belonging, so he belongs to a family now. So that's definitely one of the stories that stands out for me.
Yeah, I've read here that the vision. Do you want to just say something about the vision of Heartlands Baby Sanctuary? It's so beautiful.
Yes. So Heartlands Baby Sanctuary's vision is that it's every child's birthright to belong. So we work actively to ensure that the children have a sense of belonging. And I think even for us as adults, we want to belong somewhere,
True.
We want to identify ourselves.
Your tribe, your place, your place of safety,
That's
right?
mine. That's my mom. That's my dad. Yes, I belong.
Okay.
So even for the children, that's our main vision. And we try to, at all times, ensure that should they be even reunified, we work to rehabilitate the parents to ensure that the child can go back to the parents and the family or placed in foster care.
Because that's a question that I was thinking about. So all this love and care with the child and doing what's needed to, I suppose, mend and heal.
Yes.
But what about the conditions where that child goes back to? So what work have been done with the parents, like you say, or maybe support in the community, things like that?
Yes. So our main goal at Heartlands is to work with the child. But then you get what we call child protection or designated social workers. They are normally your social workers at child welfare, BADISA, ACVV, DSD. And they are the ones doing the investigation and they work with the parents. But when the child is removed and placed at Heartlands, we also do a form of counseling with the parents. Because we now need to tell mom why your child has been removed, why your child is with us, and what is going to be the long-term plan. So we also work with the parents. We try to train them on the child's health care, development, and the type of services that the child is going to need and what this child is needing when the child leaves our facility.
So, Ulen, I mean, again, a social worker, you mentioned that there's actually so many areas one can go into. So do you specifically have a love for babies?
I do. I do.
Are you going to have lots yourself one day?
I hope so. But for now, I always just tell the people I have 25 children of my own. They are all based at Heartlands.
Okay. I was going to ask, so what is the capacity for the facility?
Yes.
I mean, how many kids are there at any given time?
Yes, at any given time, we can accommodate 25 children. And they can come through us with designated social workers or emergency place of safety after hours. We get what we call removal with social workers and removal with police officers.
Okay.
Yes.
I can just imagine the desperate circumstances that you guys find those kids in at times. And a lot of really heartache and desperation sometimes, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
A lot of emotion.
Yes. A lot.
A lot.
For the child and the staff members.
And the staff members.
Yes.
So you said something important. So this is a 24-hour, you guys run a 24-hour facility.
Yes.
And you mentioned it's a temporary place of safety. And kids stay there for up to 6 months. Minimum 3, up to 6 months, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And then what happened?
Yes, so it's minimum 3 months, maximum 6 months. But should we have what we call panel meetings with the designated social worker, and should this child need a more long-term, let's say a 1-year period, we try to do an extension with the children's court to request if the child's safety placement can be extended with Heartlands. So once the child has reached their period with us, we will then do what we call reunification with the parents, or foster care, adoption, or long-term placements at different facilities. Yes.
Ulen, so I'm sure you get taught skills to do this important work. How do you stay your course?
Yes.
Do you permanently carry a lot of tissues? I mean, what?
I do. I do, but it's also very important. I think we have a sense of family at Heartlands. So it's very important for us when a child leaves that we just reconnect and come together as a team to say, look at the work that we've put into this child, and let's celebrate
the growth and the mending and the healing that's happened.
Yes.
And I think that gives one the belief and the courage to continue.
Definitely. Okay. And I'd just like to add that for the 8 months or the 8 years that we've been at Heartlands, or that Heartlands been established, we've cared for 360 children.
Oh my word, over a period of 8 years.
Yeah.
That's 360 lives that you've touched. Ulen, when we get back, I'd like to, dig a little bit deeper just in what it is that you guys need. I mean, you're obviously an NGO, so, programs that you guys run. I know there's a golf day coming up.
Yes.
What is it that you need? And I also would like to ask, if anyone out there wants to get involved, how does the public get involved?
Yes.
So when we get back, Christy, I'd like to just, let's dig in a little bit deeper in terms of this amazing organization.
Okay.
Busy with our business lunch with Lindie Malan.
We're speaking to Ulen. She's involved with Heartlands Baby Sanctuary. So, Ulen, I've learned since that it is an NGO, of course, 23% funded by the state, which means there's a big shortfall in terms of operational costs and funds and things you need to do stuff.
Yes.
So do you want to just talk a little bit about some of the programs that you guys run in order to raise funds?
Yes.
Because you are dependent upon goodwill and donations of the public, right? And businesses,
Definitely.
So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So we have a program that we call Adopt a Cot and also Adopt a Tree or Adopt a Duck campaign.
Oh, so it's a cot, a tree, and a duck. Okay. Tell us more about that.
So should any listeners be interested to proceed in providing us with 150 Rand donations per month. All their donations are 100% tax deductible.
And I can pay that with debit order, right?
Order.
So I can
That's
sign
correct.
150 Rand
Yes.
a month debit order. And
Yes.
that takes care of, I don't have to worry, it happens.
Yes.
And what does it mean around Adopt-A-Cot? What are you talking about?
Well, Adopt-A-Cot, that will assist us with the nappies, formula, tissues, wipes, everything that child needs or that cot needs. That specifically will assist us with.
And the
with that.
adopted tree and the duck?
Well, that is for our 4th sustainable project that we are now running or that we started, the Seeds of Hope Food Garden.
That's amazing. So it's all about becoming self-sustainable, right?
Yes.
So do you grow your own crops and fruits and veggies?
Yes, well, I'm not too involved there, but
Okay.
yes, I'm sure they do.
Okay. And then what about so could you give us some idea of some projects and around extension and how do you want to grow the center? I mean, what's in the future for the center?
Well, we need to be self-sustainable, and I think that we've achieved with the pre-love shop and the coffee shop, and now with the food Seeds of Hope Food Garden. But what we are going to do is we are doing an extension for our play area, for the children's outside play area.
Lovely.
And then also just an area for myself to do the therapy with the children.
Okay.
We've also partnered with an organization called Ntando. So there we have an occupational therapist, and she will share the area with me to do the occupational therapy sessions with the children.
Okay, so it's dedicated areas where all of that can happen.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? And I get excited because there's obviously a vision behind this. Again, you guys working as a team with the public.
Yes.
So listeners out there that think, oh my goodness, this is something that I would love to do. Is there any opportunity for someone to get involved as a volunteer?
Yes, definitely. So we are running a local volunteer program as well as an international volunteer program. Should local volunteers or community members want to become involved as volunteers, they can contact Heartlands Baby Sanctuary on our telephone line, or they can email us, or they can just attend our volunteer intake on the 9th of October 2023 at 6 o'clock the evening at Heartlands. So basically that's the first step that they need to do. And then afterwards we'll have personal interviews, application forms, training sessions, and then we'll decide if they are suitable.
So that's interesting. So the 9th of October, 6 o'clock, that's like an open day for any volunteers out there that wants to potentially get involved.
Yes.
But then you've got to be vetted, you've got to be trained, and
So
then
we
there's
need
a whole process.
Yes, we need copies of your ID,
Okay.
and then also just a police clearance certificate.
So what would the volunteer do? So say, for instance, I get vetted, I get trained. What will I do?
Yes. So they can either decide if they want to volunteer with the children. So that's for the care of the children, the help to feed the children, help to give the child tender loving care,
Play,
and
hold,
reading
love.
books, all of that, cuddles. I know normally they just want to come volunteer with our babies.
Of course. They are so cute.
Yes, they are. But they can also become involved with our sustainability projects.
Oh,
so
of
they
course,
can
the
help.
garden.
Yes, in the garden. Maybe help us sort out the books for the bookshop. Help when we need a relief
Maybe
receptionist and maintenance.
All sorts of things.
All
There's
sorts of
always
things.
something
There's
to do, right?
Always.
And then for listeners that doesn't know where you are, do you want to just tell listeners where's Heartlands?
Yes, so we are based at 794 Old Paardenvlei Road in Somerset West. It's basically just past Builders Warehouse. They'll see us. We are the only facility basically on the left side.
Okay, so I pass Builders Warehouse. I think you mentioned 500 meters, right?
Yes, that's correct.
On the left-hand side.
Yes,
And I know there's a big board. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. You can't miss it. You just press the buzzer. You come in. You can either ask Darren, the receptionist, for a tour, and we'll gladly assist you too.
Is Heartlands Baby Sanctuary the only one of its kind in this area? Is that the only place that takes in babies?
No, we also have different other what we call children's homes or CYCCs.
Okay.
We normally refer to them as CYCCs, but they may be able to just take in children, older children.
Okay.
So I believe we are the only one that
Really
able,
a baby
Yes,
sanctuary.
a baby sanctuary.
You know what, Chrissy? I just love listening to Ulen, and I know she works with Nikki and her whole team. It just justifies us to start paying a little bit more attention.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm thinking, 150 Rand. I mean, what? I can't even buy 2 cappuccinos, or I don't even talk about a trip to the grocery or whatever.
Petrol.
Yeah, I know. So come on, listeners, 150 Rand. I mean, but it makes such a difference.
Definitely.
It adds up.
Definitely.
So I would want to say thank you, Ulen. Thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Yes, thank
your
you.
smile, I can feel your love. And I just thank God that there's people like you, because you do make the world a better place.
Oh, thank you, Lindie, and thank you for having us. And we hope to see you and our listeners at Heartlands Baby Sanctuary.
I will make an absolute concerted effort to come. I don't think I will volunteer though. I'll cry myself to death, but I'm definitely going to take up the challenge in terms of signing that debit order, pushing some money towards you guys.
Yes.
And come on, business owners, this is a worthwhile cause. Let's all work together to change the reality for children. And I mean, they come in innocent. You know what? Every baby we get to change and we give them a future. There's one more person safe, right?
Yes, and add to our vision of giving a child the birthright to belong.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure, and God bless.
Thank you, Lindie. Same to you.